It feels really good to get back out there with the guys. I know a lot of us were itching to get back, and that I feel like we took the off season very well, and then now we're applying it, and now we can see like actually our hard work being put to use. I think it's a huge impact. The fan environment just brings a different, different level of intensity to the game. I think that when the fans actually are loud enough, they can make big plays or big changes to like our mentality as a team. So I think it's huge to have the fans at home.
I work at the university as a VP of Student Affairs and Enrollment Management. It's so nice to see students out here, the great weather and all the energy. So it's a perfect day for homecoming. I'm cheering on all the students, whether they're in the band, the dance team, the football team. We're just here to be good sports and proud Dragons.
I'm a huge sports fan, and it's just fun to watch some football outside. It's a great day for it.
It's homecoming, so definitely all week we've been celebrating with different groups. And like you had mentioned earlier, the fact that we're actually all together again outside. We didn't do this for over a year, so it's just great to be back.
Yes, my daughter plays on the soccer team. Jennifer Wickman, she is a senior. It's really good. It's really good. Last year was a tough year for the girls. They didn't get to play. They played a little in the spring, but it's good that they can get out and start playing the games in their conference and everything. It's great. And it's great for us fans to come out and watch them too. In the fall, they had an inter-squad thing one weekend. And then in the spring, they had a couple scrimmage games. I think Minot. It's just the close teams. So, but it was okay. They got to play a little bit, but not much.
Football in the fall and the games have been part of my life for a long time, and last fall was the first time that it wasn't. Life happens fast in football, right? You got adversity and intensity, and then you got heartbreak, and then you have, you win and you feel the high of victory, and it kind of all of this stuff happens in, an 11, 12-week season. It's kind of maybe a lifetime of ups and downs, and so it provides growth opportunities, right? Leadership opportunities, and last fall I didn't think we had those as a team in the same way, where you grow together and you have a challenge and you overcome a challenge, you go through the heartbreak together. And so I thought that was disappointing, because I think that's something that grows people closer together. I think it's something that helps people learn about themselves, and so we missed out on that. I think that was the most heartbreaking, was to call guys and say, hey, the season's done, it's canceled. And some guys, I knew that was the end for them. There was no season, and I think that's hard when you either can't prepare for it, there's at the end, or it doesn't necessarily come on your terms. And so those were hard conversations. I think those were hard for guys, because I think it was hard to create closure. I thought it was exciting to have the guys back. A lot of guys put their life on hold of, hey, you know what, I've got the next chapter of my life, but this one isn't closed yet, so I'm going to wait on it, suspend that chapter until this one closes. And I think they did it, some because they love the game of football. I think more so because they love their teammates, and they love what we have here in our program and our culture and what we're doing together as a group. We took COVID and reevaluated everything of how we practice and why we practice. And as bad as COVID was and as painful as it was, I do think that it put us on the right path.
My name is Kaya Christensen Nelson. and I teach film production in the School of Media Arts and Design at MSUM. Well, the nature of film production and also in our animation degree is that a lot of what we do is hands-on. So the March 2020 shutdown posed really significant challenges. So it is really nice to be back face-to-face, and I think that there's an energy there that, you know, that we feed off of each other in creative environments, and when you're making, you know, films or videos, that's really important. Well, one of the highlights is that there were a few students that I had last year that I never actually got to meet face-to-face, so now I'm finally meeting them for the first time in person, and that was really wonderful. It's probably more of the mundane kinds of everyday things that I've missed so much, just being in a room with my students and getting to say hi to them, and hearing about, you know, how they're doing, and getting questions answered maybe a little bit more promptly than you would in an online environment. All of the other like campus events are really fun too, but I think for me it's just about being in the classroom with my students.
Yeah, so all of my classes were online, and I really did not care for it.
Anything to say? A couple of quick announcements as we get started. With PRSSA, we are...
Oh my gosh, I love being in person, because my classes, I mean, I could be one of those teachers where it's I'm gonna lecture all day long, because I could do that. You know, we could talk about ad theories all day long, but that's super boring. So I like to make my classes active and have people doing things.
It's not distracting. Ace, yep, that's...
I like it being face-to-face so we can get up and move around and have some fun.
My name is Ann Blackhurst, and I'm the proud president of Minnesota State University Moorhead. You know, I think in some ways it has felt so much better, you know, just to see students on campus again, to be out on the campus mall as classes are changing, to be walking through our buildings and see students studying and socializing and relaxing, to have athletic events on campus and theater and music events. All of that has been wonderful. But I think also there's just kind of a level of uncertainty in the environment that still feels a little anxiety producing. Clay County is in the critical zone right now in terms of its COVID rates, and so just knowing that there's that level of infection all around our campus has been unsettling for me. So much better than it was, but still not back to normal. I know most of our students did not appreciate the totally online environment. I think students want flexibility. They want to be able to choose to have online when they want it or need it, but having everything online for many of our students I think was very stressful. And so for the most part, I feel a sense of relief and optimism and just energy on campus because students feel so glad to be back. Yeah, I think the pandemic has changed all of us. I mean, I certainly did not expect to be leading the university through a global pandemic when I became president. And so, you know, it's a historic event. That probably sounds cliche, but for the rest of our lives, we'll be looking back on these 2 years. I hope it's no more than 2 years, and wrestling with what it has meant to us personally, as a university. So I don't know that I can make sense of all of it right now. It just still feels pretty raw and pretty immediate. So I'm still making sense of all of it, but I'm hopeful that the university will emerge stronger because I think we've had to do some things that ultimately will help us better serve students. All the high flex classrooms that we've put in across campus so students can either be in the room or online whenever it suits them in terms of their schedule and their needs. All the ways we've tried to be more personal and flexible with the way we offer classes, everything we've learned about how to blend doing things online with doing things face-to-face and do that in a way that's best for students. I think ultimately all of those things will just make us stronger and will be better for students in the long run.
Well, it is actually really nice to interact with other individuals, other adults. I have young children, so doing homeschool and those types of things were a little bit difficult. But it is a huge change because we're so used to seeing each other via Zoom or Teams, and now we're back together. Students are actually wanting more face-to-face, and so they actually don't mind wearing the masks. We do have clear masks as well, but those sometimes can get a little bit hot, and so. But we are 6 feet apart. We wear the masks. We maybe have, I would say maybe one student that maybe just wants to do, 3 probably, that will do like via Zoom. So, I mean, depressive thoughts can mean a variety of different things. Not all, they don't all lead to like suicide ideation or thoughts of suicide, but it could be where there's maybe lack of motivation. It could be where they're excessive crying, or just feeling really hopeless or helpless, isolating themselves, losing interest in things that they really, really loved at one point in time. So some of the things that we do with students for like coping mechanisms is, we provide we provide therapy, of course, talk therapy. We can provide group therapy. So we talk with students just about like making sure they're getting enough sleep. Are they not necessarily have to go to an aerobics class or run a marathon or anything, but just being outdoors, going for a light walk, making sure they're getting enough water. What's in their diet, what are they eating, those types of things. We talk about those. And also too, who do they have for support? I would say we're seeing more, a little bit more, but also too, we're seeing a lot of students that are just seeking out services. Roughly, we're staffing anywhere from 4 to 9 new referrals every day. Yeah, we've been extremely busy. I mean, even during COVID, we were busy. We were seeing students through Zoom, doing some check-ins. So yeah, we've had an influx of referrals. We're seeing a lot more students that are just really struggling academically, and that I think is hard for them because I think they're used to having like straight A's and being really, really good in school, and then when having to go to online. Now they're coming back and they're like, wow, I passed last year, but this year is like a little bit harder.
I did not like it at all. It was very lonely, and for me it was kind of caused a lot of anxiety because I wasn't sure if I had COVID, and going to a dorm, even like if I had to stay in my room most of the time, but just like thinking like if I don't have COVID but I'm going to a floor that a bunch of people who think they have COVID are going to be on, and we're going to be sharing a bathroom and all this, it was very like a lot of anxiety. Just kind of being alone for that amount of time was not good for my mental health. So yeah, I didn't last very long. I ended up going home after I found out I was negative. So with everything opening back up, it feels better. Just being able to be in person. It has been a bit of a struggle because I did get used to being online a lot. So I had to revamp my time management skills. So that was hard to do, but I do like that there's more things open and more things going on around campus, and you can see people, meet new people. I was not prepared to work out of work because I was so like paranoid and just overthinking. I think they should be lenient because for me it was hard on my mental health, just the even if I wasn't alone for very long, just the whole situation and being kind of scared of like, what do I expect right now, and kind of things like that. I would ask professors to be lenient and understanding.
I think that there's a big difference. In high school, I was all on like Zoom performing, so I lacked like being within like a crowd and seeing the reactions. But coming here to college and being able to perform for people, it's really made a difference, and it's super exciting to get back and see like everyone's reactions.
Oh, it's so nice to be able to perform live again. It's a lot of fun. It's been really cool to be able to see all the different arts at MSUM come together, not just individual departments. Especially after COVID, we've kind of all gotten broken up and kind of not set to the side, but we haven't been able to interact with each other. So it's nice to see everybody all come together and be able to work at something bigger than ourselves.
It's really nice to have an audience again. That was one of the biggest things that we missed, because we were still able to perform in some capacity in smaller groups like this quartet, but a lot of the times the audience would be virtual, or there wouldn't be as many people coming out. So it's nice to have people wandering around again. It was a little bit odd depending on the ensemble. Like, I was in the choir, and choir concerts were all pre-recorded from home, and then we would be able to watch our concert from home essentially. And that was a little bit strange in a way. But sometimes it would just be like us performing on a stage with a video camera on, like the ensemble, and there'd just be empty seats. So it would just feel like a rehearsal in a way. But now it is a little bit more normal.
And then COVID happened after I came back here. And then I have to go back to Japan again. Even though the class was like already started and they all changed it online, so I have to Zoom in at like midnight or like 5 in the morning because of the time difference. So I lived in the dorms, but the school decided to close all the dorms, and since I don't have any home here, so I have to go back. Like I have like no choice. I think the earliest class was at midnight, but after that I had class at like 3 or 4 or 5 in a row, so I couldn't just like take a nap because I was like afraid that I might not be able to wake up at the time. And then after I took all the class, I went to bed and slept in till like 1 o'clock afternoon so that I can wake up and do something else before the class at night. And it was really tough. Yeah, I think I was really surprised because people were just like so fast changing their life without like mask, or like people getting vaccinated so fast compared to Japan, because they're really slow on that. Well, my family didn't really care about what I do, but I decided to come back here because I decided to study abroad in the US, and I didn't want to waste my time because spending life in the country where I decided to go is like the whole purpose of studying abroad. So I just like I just like didn't want to waste my time anymore, but at the same time as I was afraid because of my race, and I'm Asian. So I was like, well, I wasn't really afraid of like getting the COVID, but more of like what if I get like discriminated or get yelled at by strangers.
University Moorhead Dragons.